As per the Hebrew Bible, since the creation of man in Africa, Ethiopia, man has been migrating through Sudan to Egypt, Israel, and the rest of the world. Man also has been worshipping God since creation, which through time came to be known as Judaism, even though there came to be a people known as Falasha or Beta Israeli who follows Judaism. Ancient Ethiopia in the Hebrew Bible known as Sheba also followed Judaism just like the Falashas. Therefore, in this video, I will present a theory about when and why the people known as the Falashas or Beta Israeli came to be. The Hebrew Bible on the book of 2 Kings, chapter 25, says that the Babylonians invaded Jerusalem, and King Zedekiah of Israel or Judah and his followers escaped to Yeha. But they followed him and took him captives back to Jerusalem, where he was imprisoned, while some of his followers and the Jews living in Yeha were able to run away to Uqaha, that is Upper Egypt, which fits with scholars saying that there were Jews at the city of Elephantine in Upper Egypt who later built a temple. Curiously, Zedekiah's original name, Metete Yeha, in Amharic gives a meaning of came to Yeha, or died Yeha, or spell Yeha, which fits with the story written on 2 Kings chapter 25. Shockingly, the hieroglyphics found at the city of Elephantine shows the symbols of a chisel, a cut-off leg, a bird, and an elephant, which when transliterated in Amharic or Ethiopic alphabet says Merebe we Zahane, which gives a meaning of Mereb, yes, here come, because a chisel represents the letters M and R, a cut-off leg represents the letter B, which in Amharic is B. The bird symbol represents the W letter, and in Amharic it is W. And elephant in Amharic is Zuhon. Therefore, when we write it without vowel, it becomes Zahan. Therefore, Merebewe Zahan, which gives a meaning of Mereb, yes, here come. Therefore, first, as the Hebrew Bible says, people migrated from Yeha to Uqaha, that is Upper Egypt, and the hieroglyphics found in Elephantine also indicates that the people at Elephantine came following the river Mereb, which flows from southwest Eritrea down to the Ethiopian-Eritrea border in the northwest side of Ethiopia, which is about 30 kilometers away from the ancient city of Yeha, and goes to Sudan and meets the Wadi Alaki River of Egypt during a rainy season. During the Babylonian invasions of Jerusalem in 587 BC, Egypt was under the 26th dynasty of Pharaoh Wuhabere Ha-Abere, who ruled Egypt from 589 BC to 570 BC. When the Jews from Jerusalem came to Yeha and went together with the one already in Yeha and migrated to Uqaha or Upper Egypt, it was during this king who was known as Wuhabere Ha-Abere. From the Egyptian king's name, it can be guessed that he was most probably a Jew because it sounds similar to the words Hebrew and Aber. At a similar time period, a king named Hanede Wuhabere is listed in the 1922 regional list of Ethiopian kings, which said which said that he ruled from 542 BC to 531 BC, having a 27 years difference with the Egyptian king Ha'abere of the 26th dynasty, whom scholars say is the biblical king named as Hophra of Mizraim or Egypt, mentioned on the book of Jeremiah chapter 44, who married a Sheba queen named Nedereye. Therefore, the migrants or the Jews from Yeha settled in Elephantine during the 26th dynasty rule of Egypt under King Ha'abere and his Sheba or Ethiopian wife Nedereye. They stayed in Elephantine in Upper Egypt until 411 BC for about 176 years. Then scholars say Egypt was also occupied by the Persian in 525 BC to 404 BC for about 80 years. But the Egyptian king named Ameniradesu, or his Greek name Amirtaos of the 28th dynasty, whose name gives a meaning of Amana, helped person, and Amara, his Greek name Ameritaos, its meaning means Amara remembered, because the first part Amir is Amara, Taos is remembered. Therefore, Amara remembered of the 28th dynasty waged a guerrilla war against the Persians, which led to the migration of the Jews back to Ethiopia, though the king was able to liberate Egypt from the Persians. Before going on, I want to make a point that the Amara people of Ethiopia founded the ancient city of Yeha and Aksum civilization, as proven in my previous videos, even though today they are found in the so-called Tigray region or province, which came in existence in about 10th century AD, which are supported by inscriptions excavated in the ancient cities and in literary evidences like the Hebrew Bible and a book entitled The Periplus of the Eritrean Sea, which was written in the 1st century AD. And as an example, there was a king, a priest, known as Amariah. But Amariah in Hebrew is written as Amara Yeha. So Amara is Amara, Yeha is Yeha. So this can be also used as an example that Yeha was civilization of the Amara people, because you found the word Amara throughout the Hebrew Bible. Therefore, but you don't find a word which has a similar meaning or a similar sounding name to Tigray, to the name Tigray or Tigray. Therefore, Yeha was the ancient city of the Amara people, which can be taken as an example. Like I told you, this priest king known as Amara Yeha, which the King James Bible say named him as Amariah. Therefore, the Falasha or Beta Israeli were most probably Ethiopian Jews, from the Judah tribe, joined by fresh migrants from Jerusalem during the invasion of Jerusalem by the Babylonians. And they migrated together to Upper Egypt, to the city Elephantine during the Babylonian invasion, which led to the coming of Zedekiah of Israel and his followers to Yeha, Ethiopia. and stayed, they stayed 176 years, like I said, in Elephantine in Upper Egypt, but they came back to Ethiopia when a war broke out between Egypt and the Persians during the Egyptian king Ameneredesu or Amir Taos in 411 BC. When they returned, they most probably followed not the same river. They came when they returned. Most probably they came following the Nile, then the river that joins from Ethiopia, that flows from Amara region, northwest Amara region of Ethiopia, from Gondar, and flows to Sudan, and it is also a river just like the Merab, which flows into Sudan. So the Tekazé River directly meets with the Nile River, while the Merab River, it flows into Sudan, and during the rainy season it continues a longer distance, and it joins with the Wadi Alaki River of the Egyptian, which starts or flows from the Elephantine island. So in the middle they join during a rainy season. So when they went from Ethiopia during the Babylonian invasion, they followed that route. The Merab, they followed the Merab River, which is 30 kilometers away from Yeha, and traveled following the Wadi Alaki River of Egypt, and they rested on the Elephantine Island. But when they come back, now they don't have to hide. Because when they went back, they didn't follow the normal route of the Nile, because most probably the areas were under the Egyptian pharaohs, and these people were they are migrating, hiding, so that they will not be found out. So they followed the Merab River, but when they came back, the king was most probably, from his name, Ethiopian king, therefore they have no problems. So they followed the Nile down, and then at the river which joins with the Tekazé River, they came back to Ethiopia, because their final resting place now, currently they are found at the place where there is the Tekazé River, at the area that's adjacent to the Tekazé River in Ethiopia, in North Amara region, in northwest Amara region, in Gondar. Therefore, that's the most probable route that they followed when they came back to Ethiopia. Therefore, the areas, also the area name, like in northwest Amara, the areas Humera, Welkait, Agadi, and Salamt. So Humera could also be in ancient time Amara, to say Amara, because in Ethiopic or in Amharic alphabet, the letter A and the letter H can be interchangeably used to give the same meaning. For example, Agar means country, and you can also say Hagar, which has the same meaning. You can say Hibr and Abere, which means united, and also you can say Abesha or Habesha. So therefore A and H can be interchanged. So Humera most probably in ancient time could have been Amara. Therefore, this is what I found out, that the Falashas or the Beta Israeli were most probably Ethiopians, joined by fresh migrants from Jerusalem during the Babylonians. But they went to Egypt and stayed there for 176 years. So when they came back to Ethiopia, they will be new for themselves and also for the people. The people would have forgotten about them, and also they when they came and rested at a different place than Yeha. Most probably they feared to go back to Yeha, because maybe the descendants of the Babylonian soldiers might be there and they cannot go there. Or most probably, since the Merab River and the Wadi Alaki is a seasonal river that flows long distance only during rainy season, maybe at the time when they came, there was no river. The river was dry, therefore they couldn't take that route, because they don't know how they will lead. They don't have compasses like today in modern times. Therefore they have to follow the river Nile and go follow the Tekeze River to Ethiopia, because the Tekeze River flows throughout the year, even though in the rainy season it becomes heavy during the rainy season. So that's what I found out. I'm sure this information will be, a good thing for the Beta Israeli, for the Falashas. They can do further research, and most probably they should commemorate the kings, the Egyptian king with his Ethiopian wife, Ha-Abere and his Ethiopian wife, Nedereye, and also who allowed them to come after 176 years, who allowed them to come back to Ethiopia. King Ameneredese or Amaritaos, Ameretawese. So they should commemorate these people and do further research and study. This is what I found out. Please comment, subscribe, share. Thank you.